guys, this is Vahisha, and I'd like to welcome you to episode number 2 of the Asylum Challenge. In the last scene of episode 1, we had Bailey storming off to work after being yelled at by Jackson. So here we go, let's just delve right back into the chaos. Jackson took advantage of having a day off from work. He enjoyed a refreshing glass of OJ as he watched the boats sailing in the harbor from the upstairs balcony. He was able to reach level 4 on Blick Block with no interruptions. And then he decided to help gather up all the dishes that everyone had haphazardly left all over. Maybe it was his way of making up for breaking the fridge. Either way, it was a nice gesture. Bailey's day at work went fairly well. There was a customer who demanded a refund on her smartphone, but Bailey was able to calm down the customer and make her change her mind. She saved the company a bunch of simoleons. Her boss was very impressed, and that put Bailey in great spirits. But by the end of her workday, she was pretty stressed. Her boss had started shuffling all the more difficult customers her way. Gianna and Allison were becoming quite good friends. They enjoyed an evening game of chess, all the while talking, laughing, and joking with each other. Later on, when Gianna went downstairs for a bowl of Fruitios, she discovered the broken fridge and the huge stack of dishes on the table. Looks like Jackson must have gotten sidetracked while cleaning up earlier. Am I the only one around here that fixes things and cleans up around here? Gianna sighed. Bailey overheard Gianna in the next room, so she decided to do her part and went to scrub the downstairs toilet. And do the dishes while Gianna tackled the broken fridge for the second time. Colton was up at 1 a.m. and decided to make something to eat. Within minutes, the whole kitchen was permeating with the smell of burnt eggs. When Jackson walked into the kitchen, he caught Allison placing perfectly good food on the floor. Between that and the racy underthings showing again, he completely lost his temper. I swear, if you don't lay off, Jackson, seethed Allison. Jackson and Allison weren't the only ones with tensions running high. All the work and lack of sleep had many residents tense. Frank had a forgetful type of morning. He left the water running in the shower. He just walked down the stairs as the puddles started to form. Bailey was on the warpath when she came down the stairs. Who used all the hot water? And who left the water running in the shower? It's an absolute mess up there, she huffed. Jasmine leaned over to Frank. It was you, but I'm not saying anything. I love watching people squirm, she mumbled, her mouth stuffed with the last of her toast and eggs. As most of the asylum went off to work, Jackson stepped into the tub for his second bath of the morning. Nobody bothered to wake Gianna and let her know that it was time to leave, so unfortunately, she was late for work. Bailey put up all her pent-up anger to good use and took it out on the counters. They needed a good scrubbing anyways. Colton was enjoying his day off until he learned that Jackson was an alien. He felt so deceived. Why had he not said anything sooner? And you, he said to Julian. You're an alien too, aren't you? I give this conversation a big fat thumbs down. And with that, he turned on his heels and went outside for some fresh air. Julian took his frustration out on the trash can. And just before work, he grumbled. This was not how he wanted to start his night. It seemed as though Yasmin and Frank had moved past their tension from the first morning with the whole potato chip debacle. She had to admit, Frank's skin was rather attractive, and he wasn't afraid to show it. Bailey scored a promotion at work, and would now be in the quality assurance department. Co-workers from the support team surprised her with a coffee maker. They were going to miss having her in their department, though. Allison asked Gianna about Sixm, so Gianna pulled her outside so she could point out the planet. Gianna told Allison that maybe someday she'd take her to go see it once she was released from the asylum. It might take a while, but it wasn't out of the question. Gosh darn it, the stove just went out! Was Gianna ever going to get a reprieve from the appliances needing constant repairs? Bailey was trying to get her favorite channel on the TV, so she started fiddling with the wires. Looks like she shorted out the TV. I guess we get to add that to Gianna's list of repairs. The downstairs toilet got broken again, but Gianna drew the line there. She needed to get some sleep before work. She just couldn't afford to be late again. Julian was promoted to petty thief. Now he'd be able to practice his sleight of hand. In the late-night game of wits with Julian, Frank pulled a fast one with the pieces. He fell for that? He thinks that he's going to make a good thief? Ha! Thought Frank, as he put the game in his favor. Gianna awoke with 2 hours until her shift. Peeking out the upstairs window, she spied some bright red apples on the tree. She had a spring in her step as she bounced down the stairs. With the stove in disrepair, it would be nice to at least add some fresh apple slices to her yogurt. Julian bawled out Gianna just as the last apple was being plucked from the branches. He was livid that he didn't get any apples for his yogurt, never mind that his bowl was already empty. "Mosey, Mosey, Mosey, blah, blah, blah," said Gianna. She didn't even want to hear it. Frank was so shocked to hear that Gianna had been promoted at work. Coincidentally, they both had a lot to celebrate, as Frank had passed his test on space geography and had landed himself a promotion as well. Gianna evolved all 5 of her plants growing. She had the next 3 days off and had plans to do a lot more out in her garden. Feeling inspired to paint, Gianna headed upstairs to the balcony. She was pleasantly surprised when Colton joined her. It made painting tonight that much more enjoyable having someone to talk to. Although it looked a bit childish, Gianna hung her finished painting in one of the bedrooms. She had created it after all, so why not? With only one toilet functioning in a household of 8 Sims, you get a lot of Sims doing the pee-pee dance. Bailey ended up shunned from the bathroom one too many times and ended up with an unfortunate accident. Frank woke up in the middle of the night to make himself a cup of coffee. Maybe something warm would make him feel better. Jackson couldn't sleep, so he headed down to the kitchen to heat up a glass of milk. He was surprised to see Frank. "Frank? What's wrong? You're covered in spots?" "Oh, no, don't come any closer. Whatever you've got, I don't want you sharing." Jackson booked it back up the stairs and forgot all about the milk, leaving it on the counter. Alright, folks, that's it for this episode of the Asylum Challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for what happens to our residents coming up in the next episode. Until then, take care, guys. Bye. I just wanted to say thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up on my newest videos. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment because I think they're cool.